Hello, everyone. The big day is almost here. Tomorrow, August 21st, the solar eclipse. You guys excited?
Yes. I feel like I've been excited for so long. It's like Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, both of you have been following this, to a T. You're actually going to be traveling tomorrow. Talk a little bit about
Nashville because I have to go see it in its entirety, and I guess you should say totality.
Right.
But I have the day off, so I lucked out. So I was like, I'm going.
Of course.
Absolutely, 100% I'm going. But I think I got the last hotel room, no cars, so we're going to depend on Uber and Lyft.
And we were talking about it earlier. Nashville is actually the biggest city that's going to be in totality. 609,000 people there, so you will be with all of them, eyes to the skies.
So talk about a little bit of the difference. Still some people wondering, is it a total eclipse? Obviously, here in Texas, we'll see a partial. So talk about the difference.
Well, total eclipse, that path of totality, that's where folks are actually going to see the sun almost completely disappear. So it's almost like it becomes nighttime, twilight, then nighttime, right in the middle of the day. So that's that 100% eclipse. Here in Central Texas, Austin specifically, 65% eclipsed. So we're going to notice it get darker, but it's not going to completely turn dark out there.
Sure.
Cool, though. I'm excited to see kind of the temperatures level off just a little bit during the day. So there you see it. Solar eclipse in Austin starts at 11:41. You're going to start to see just a little bit of a bite getting taken out of the sun. Really, you're only going to be able to see that if you've got those glasses. Then at 1:10, about 65% of the sun will be eclipsed. Then it finally winds down around 2:40. Right now, we're projecting clear skies for that eclipse, so viewing is going to be great for us here in Central Texas. We're excited to see that. There you can see across the entire country, here's what we've got expected for that eclipse, that path of totality, kind of stretching from Oregon down towards South Carolina. Good viewing from Salem down to Idaho Falls, Casper, Lincoln, Nebraska. Unfortunately, going to be dealing with some showers and thunderstorms likely in that area. If not that, then at least the clouds. So not perfect viewing conditions there. And then Nashville, Rayanne, looking good. Almost
fantastic.
Yeah, I want to say probably like maybe 30 or 40% cloud cover there. But otherwise, you're in good shape. Columbia, Jefferson City, still in fair conditions. But even though we're not going to be looking at the entire solar eclipse here in Texas, Dallas, Austin, elsewhere around the Lone Star State, we've got those good viewing conditions thanks to high pressure, that system that's kept the heat going for so long. Here's a look at the cloud cover forecast. You can see from Salem down to Cheyenne, 0% cloud cover. Nashville could see a bit more, but 87% cloud cover in Lincoln, Nebraska. Not great for them there. And then as we head through the end of the eclipse conditions, still looking good for us here in Central Texas. Here's a graphic similar to the one you just saw. Good visibility all the way through that eclipse. 65% eclipsed at 1:10. That's when you really want to be focusing on it. Of course, with the partial eclipse here in Texas, you are going to need your eye protection, those ISO certified glasses the entire way through. And we have a pair of those.
Yeah, don't ever look at the sun.
Yes, please don't look.
Right.
The sun is not safe
Partial
to look
does
at.
not mean anything.
Yeah, the sun is not safe to look at any day of the year. The only folks who may be able to glimpse at it for a little while would be in that path of totality.
Right.
And the maximum time of totality is actually Carbondale, Illinois, 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
And how was their weather?
Pretty good.
That's
pretty good. But still, Nashville, more than 2 minutes.
Yes.
Like it's gonna be cool.
Well, we're actually going to have an eye doctor come in tonight. I know you're going to be covering a little bit about what to expect with the solar eclipse. And then we'll have a live interview with an eye doctor from Austin who is going to talk about, some of the patients that she sees. They've had a problem before to where they have maybe a little bit of dizziness and a little bit of a blurry spot to the right of their eye, and that's just because maybe they looked at the sun for too long. You don't think about it. And she was telling me last time that even 20, 30 seconds can do tremendous damage, and it cannot be corrected. So once you develop that blurriness, it stays with you and sometimes develops into a black spot. So we'll hear more from her later tonight. But also wanted to let you know that we are on Facebook Live, obviously, but we're watching your comments. So we want you to ask questions, interact with us. We're just having a little bit of fun since we don't have a show today. So
we have to explain the once in a lifetime thing, because a lot of people, I know we've got our presentation ready, and the thing is this is okay, once in a lifetime. It is happening again in Texas, people. Yes, you are right. It is happening again, but it could be once in a lifetime, because who knows if the clouds are going to work out? Who knows in 2024 if we're going to have a completely, exactly. You were saying the last one.
What was it, 79?
79 was the last total.
And it crossed 5 states, but the weather was terrible, so a lot of folks just missed that one.
Yes, and we do have the annular eclipses quite often, and that's where people are like, why is this such a big deal? This is just like, we see these all the time, da-da-da-da-da. So we're going to explain what that means, because it is a really big deal. The last time was 99 years ago that it crossed across the nation like it's going to tomorrow, and that's not going to happen again in 2024. It's just going down the middle of the nation. So these are both rare, and that's not going to happen after 2024. It's going to be another 100 years before we see it even come across the continental U.S.
And keep in mind, 2024, that eclipse will be happening in April. Here in Texas, that's part of our severe weather season. So if the timing's not right, we could really miss out. So this is super exciting. This is a big deal.
Yeah, so it could be twice in a lifetime opportunity. Could be once in a lifetime, or some people may not have any luck and be clouded out. But we're going to show.
Yeah, they're talking about the most watched also. So show us your
because
people
are confused. People are confused why this is so rare. So we're going to explain. Somebody helped us. My story tonight at 9.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay.
So
which camera
Chelsea's
are we going
the sun. Are we going 1?
Are we going on
2, 3? Which one?
Directors, tell us.
1. Okay. There we go.
Got it.
Okay, so the difference is, this is the sun. And when we have these normal annular eclipses, the sun is right here, the moon goes in front of it, you can still see the sun, part of it comes out. Now this is what's different about what's happening tomorrow. Hopefully we can time this and get this projected just right. Is this moon is closer to us right now, so it's going to completely cover the sun.
All about perspective.
Yes, and that's why this one's rare, and that's why this one is different than the ones that we've talked about before. So it's going to be so dark, the animals may go to sleep, the stars are going to come out. So that's why it's different than the other ones that the ones that we see quite often.
And these are the glasses. Well, one pair of glasses. A lot of places are sold out.
Oh yeah, I've been on the hunt. You cannot find them anywhere.
So the good idea is to make your shoebox option.
Yeah, we're also going to talk about some watch parties tomorrow where libraries may still be handing out glasses. So
if you go to certain places, they will be handing out some glasses depending on where you go. Also, just keep in mind, because I know Amazon had some fake glasses, but these are it. And the way, there's not really an exact way to tell. Obviously, NASA has a list of the right places where you could have ordered them earlier on. But in regards to glasses like this, they're saying that, when you put them on, they're supposed to be so dark when you're looking through them that you can't see any light. Yeah. The only thing that you'd be able to see is the sun. And so it's supposed to be that dark because you don't want any light passing through that.
And there are numbers too, the ISO 12312.
Oh yeah.
Does it say in there? Of course, anyone can print anything on anything.
The best thing that I have been suggested to do is to go to the website, NASA's website, the list that Ashley was talking about, and check the manufacturer. Yeah. So the manufacturer is a key to knowing if they are actual ones.
Yeah. And if you get them kind of at some of the larger retailers, I think you're in good shape. Or if you get them from a library when they were still handing those out, you're in good shape. But you definitely don't want to risk it. Unfortunately, there's always those shady characters that might want to take advantage of folks who are getting so excited about the eclipse. So always good to maybe kind of test it out. Tanya Ortega talked to someone on Friday, and they said that if you can look at a TV screen and see the TV screen through the glasses, they're not going to work. Yeah. So that's a good test. unfortunately, the best way to do it is to look at the sun. But if you've got counterfeit glasses, we don't want you looking at the sun.
Not first.
Of course.
Not first.
Yeah, I mean, it should be pretty much pitch black when you put those glasses on, to where you're going to bump into something, because that's how dark it needs to be.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to see, things through the glasses at all. Don't look through window tint. You can't look through tinted car windows. You can't use your sunglasses, even though they're UV filtered. So
now, welding glasses, 12 and above, you can use those.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you have those handy.
If anyone has a welding helmet and you're okay with us borrowing it, please bring it by the Fox 7 Studios.
Yes.
And the only time you don't need these glasses are if you were in that totality.
Yeah.
And that's just for that 90 to 2 minutes, 90 seconds to 2 minutes.
So even though we have the partial, we still cannot, because I know a couple people are saying, well, I might look anyway.
Don't.
But
please
you can't.
don't. I'm sure eye doctors will be plenty busy on Tuesday with people who chanced it. Again, here's what we have going on here in the Central Texas area for some of our larger hub cities: Austin, Round Rock, San Marcos, Georgetown. It begins at 11:41. You're not going to be able to see it with the naked eye. You really won't even notice it getting darker. But if you have those specialty eclipse glasses, you should begin to see just a little piece of the sun getting taken out by the moon. And then it peaks at 1:10. That's when it'll maybe start to look a little more like that late afternoon when the sun's trying to go down. And then full-on sun once again at 2:39. NASA actually wanting folks to kind of send in some readings about the temperatures they're seeing during the eclipse. They want to measure the humidity. They want to see how it affects cloud cover. We mentioned the animals too. So if you have those readings, you want to see how the temperatures kind of change as the eclipse happens. You can do that as well, especially if you're in the path of totality. Here, I don't think we're going to change too much, but it might actually pump the brakes on the heating. So
that's good news.
Yeah, afternoon highs may come down just a few degrees tomorrow. I'm keeping us in the upper 90s, so not a big difference from 100, but still pretty nice. It's not going to have a huge impact on temperatures, but still, it's awesome.
That's pretty cool
to notice those changes.
And a good note is, if you do have the legit glasses, save them.
Oh,
7 years. In 7 years, I'm sure these are going to be even harder to come by here in Central Texas.
And nice to keep. They're cool and, good keepsake.
It's a cool souvenir. I did say on Twitter earlier that I wanted, after this eclipse, if there were just a bunch of glasses left over, I was going to start stockpiling for 2024. And fun fact, Texas, as long as the weather's good, we're going to kind of be some of the biggest winners for that 2024 eclipse, because the maximum time of totality with this eclipse is about 2 minutes 40 seconds there in Illinois. That 2024 eclipse in Southwest Texas, totality is going to last for almost 4.5 minutes.
Wow.
So twice as long. That is awesome. I'm going to book a hotel room right now. That's so cool. Like I said, though, weather permitting. If it's stormy and cloudy, it might as well just be a regular
There was another note from the Department of Public Safety that I did not think about until they tweeted it earlier today, and talking to drivers about tomorrow when this happens. Don't pull over on the side of the road, because it could cause a dangerous situation. So people are going to be tempted to get out of their cars and get out and look, and that's not going to be good if everybody's on the highway stopping. So make sure you're planned to be in a place when you want to get out of, get out safely and not on the side of the highway.
Lots of state parks, they're going to be having watch parties and things like that. So that'd be neat to kind of get out of town. And I mean, of course, if you don't have to work, lots of kids going back to school, and I have heard that they're just going to live stream it, so the kids don't really chance looking up at the sun. Kind of a little controversy surrounding that, because some parents want their kids to learn about the eclipse. Other parents want their kids to be safe while they're viewing it. So a little controversy, but that's, I think, what most schools are going to be doing for tomorrow.
Yeah, unless they're under the teacher. There's some teachers supervising it, and they are doing the little shoebox option, but I know I covered that story a little earlier this weekend. There was a lot of controversy, because it's either a science experiment or a science lesson. If you happen to be in middle school and it's going on during your science class, you might be able to get out and go see it, but for the most part, I think they are keeping the students inside watching the NASA live feed, which will be in totality, so that's good. You get to see the live feed and see the whole thing.
I want to watch that, because I mean, 65% is nothing to scoff at, but I want to see all of it go away. I want to see that sun go away.
Yes. I'll send you video.
Thank you. Please do that.
Well, there are 2 places that we know for sure that will be providing the eclipse glasses. So want to mention them to you in Cedar Park, the Texas Museum of Science and Technology. They're going to be hosting a party 10 o'clock to 4 p.m. And they're going to have experts on hand to answer all the questions that you have. Can help you view the eclipse safely, especially if you're going to be taking kids with you. You want to make sure that they wear them properly. But you can view the eclipse, and they'll have fun activities, special shows about the sun in the planetarium as well. And then over in Round Rock, the public library, they are partnering with the Space Science Institute and the Williamson County Astronomy Club. Their party is from 12 to 2. And they will also be having science and art fun, splashing in the fountains, and ices. Also, very important, glasses again will be provided, which is nice because I know a lot of people right now, that is their #1 question. How do we get a hold of glasses if we didn't order them already? You know, one question that I do want to point out, or at least attempt to answer from somebody here on Facebook Live with us. They were asking, and I'm not sure if I can find it.
Oh, there it is.
If a person uses 4 pairs of sunglasses on top of each other, is that enough protection? I don't. I mean, no, there's no way.
That may be a question for our eye doctor coming on later today, but just.
I think she would say no, though.
No.
Because I feel like if you put, if you put 4, you would still be able to see the light. The rays are so strong that it would go all the way through.
Someone also asked if you can use 3D glasses. That's a definite negative.
Yeah,
like, They look the same. They look very similar.
Look like they would be the same.
But definitely don't.
And I know some hobby places, I saw a few YouTube videos. This is completely unofficial, but there is solar foil that's ISO certified. Of course, it has to be the correct number that we were talking about earlier, that 123, what is it, 122. But some hobby places still have that. I think at this point, though, it's going to be too late to get any of that. Really, you want to stick to the eclipse glasses.
Yeah, and those viewing parties, all of those were providing glasses. So the people who are asking where they can get these glasses still, I mean, a good idea is to head to those parties, because I think that's about the only place you are going to be able to get them at this point.
I did, though, see somebody post the other day, I think it was actually yesterday, that Lowe's still had some eclipse glasses.
I checked on Friday. I went to the Kyle Lowe's because I was in San Marcos, but they didn't have any.
Oh. So maybe they sold out within minutes.
They didn't have any. A lot of optometrists' office didn't have any. So
viewing party's the way to go.
I know. Also, though, check with your viewing party that you're planning on going to, because we reported on Friday that some are not providing glasses. So you don't want to get there expecting to get glasses.
Right. There's one at Balcones Park, and that'll be a huge watch party if you're looking to have some fun and get together with people. But that one starts a little after 1 p.m., but glasses will not be provided, so they're asking you to just go ahead and bring glasses if you have some. I'm sure if you're nice enough, you can maybe borrow from a friend.
I think a lot of people just want to take their smartphone, point it through those glasses, take the picture, and put it on social media. I expect in about, 20 hours now, our social media pages will be flooded with eclipse photos. Most of them from Rayanne.
Be careful because phone thing and putting your phone up, that's going to be bad too.
But you think
can't
look through the glasses?
I'm not. We're going to wait for the eye doctor.
Right.
We're going to wait for the eye doctor.
Don't listen to anything we say.
I know for sure. Well, here's a couple tips that I did on my story the other day, but it was talking about, obviously, don't look at the partial eclipse through an unfiltered camera, telescope, binoculars, or other optical device.
You have to have the filters still.
Yeah.
So I guess finding out if a lot of people are going to be using their phones and putting that up. I mean, you do risk the chance of burning up your phone too. So
that's true. Pretty sensitive stuff. I do want to take a second. You've been listening to us. Not NASA scientists talk about the eclipse for a few minutes, but I want to see if we can throw to that package from an actual NASA scientist, Jim Garvin, just to tell us a little bit more about what we can expect, maybe not here in Central Texas, but along that path of totality.
It's really an event that highlights our place in space. The sun, the moon, the earth, all in a dance. It's kind of like a great dance concert, but we're doing it as planets swirling in deep space. And it makes us aware of how important our sun is, how space weather works, even how local changes in darkness can affect our local climate. So this is a really cool event.
Really cool, really rare.
I know.
The person I talked to, he's the voice of Fox 7, so he's got an amazing voice, and he tells the story about why this is so cool. It comes on tonight, but he said, out of a wicked cool scale of a 1 to 10, it's 100.
Ooh.
And he says it in the voice, and it's phenomenal.
So tune in. If you're not tuning in for anything else tonight, tune in for that.
Yes.
Just hearing someone say wicked cool. You never hear that in Texas. I love that. Also, we kind of mentioned projector, like pinhole projectors a little while ago. If you don't have the glasses, of course, those pinhole projectors, pretty easy to make and safe because you're actually going to be turned away from the sun and allowing the sun to project through a small hole, and you'll see that on the ground or whatever surface you're projecting onto. If you feel like you don't want to make that because it's too much work, I've also heard colanders work because there are a lot of holes. Ritz crackers or crackers with holes in them. Just things like that. You can even stand under a tree because all of those little pinpoints of light filtering through the tree leaves, you're going to see those turn into crescents. So basically any light that's projected through something onto the ground or really any surface, you'll be able to see what that eclipse looks like. Just remember, don't look directly at it.
Yeah. We're getting questions about the time again. So 11:40, we're going to start to see that little snippet.
Yeah. Tiny little bite. We're calling it little bite. Gets taken out. And then it peaks at 1:10. So that's really when you want to take your glasses, look to the heavens, see what's going on up there, because it is going to be very cool. And the timing might be a little different in some spots. The totality path is moving from west to east. So in the hill country, the peak might actually be a little bit earlier. East of I-35, maybe a little bit later. But along the I-35 corridor, really peaking around 1:10. And really the difference is only going to be a few minutes. Right. So, you know, if you have to go to work, maybe postpone your lunch break a little while so you can head outside and check that out.
I am trying to pull up some more of the watch parties. I know I got an email about that the other day because some of you are saying on Facebook that, you know, some of the locations are a little bit further out. So trying to find some other options for you guys. Let's see. Pull that up real quick.
The 2024 one, I just want to express how cool this is going to be. Let's hopeful of the weather.
Yeah.
Because I wish we had a path showing the Texas totality.
Yep.
That's what Chelsea dubbed it.
Hashtag Texas Totality 2024. We're starting it right now.
It is.
We're starting the countdown literally at 2:40 tomorrow afternoon. Once this eclipse is over for us,
it's on.
And we're looking ahead 7 years.
And praying that the clouds start tomorrow. Start tomorrow.
I mean, with my luck, every day in April will be dry except the eclipse.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a washout.
And save the glasses. I can't reiterate that enough.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not even in the path of totality here, and we've run out. Everywhere's run out. So just save them because that way you don't have to worry about it.
You don't have to stress out. Save them and make sure you know where you put them.
You know, we were talking about fake glasses earlier because Amazon was selling some to where it didn't come from you know, certain locations that had this ISO mark. And so, you know, they had to do a recall. One place, you know, we had a story last night, a school in Missouri, they actually canceled their watch party because they had ordered a ton of these eclipse glasses, ended up finding out that they were fake, I believe the ones that were from Amazon, and so now they're trying to find some new glasses. So just, you know, make sure that you are looking at the recall if you did buy from Amazon, because I know there were a lot of people just trying to sell glasses that look like it. But again, you know, I mean, the 3D glasses look like it, but they're not going to be good for you. These are the ones.
Yeah. And those
which you can't see through them.
They're saying on our Facebook feed, we've got people saying you're supposed to look down, not up. If you have these, you can look up. Just make sure that they're the legit, real ones. But if you have the pinhole projectors or anything else, that's when you're not looking at the sun.
Yeah, so that's when you can look down. And I think a lot of folks, if you don't have your eclipse glasses at this point, you will probably be using a pinhole projector, just because they are so hard to find. I have been watching so many videos about the moon lately, just because I'm so excited about this. And it really is kind of a combination of factors that have to come together. It has to be during a new moon because that is when the moon is situated between the Earth and the sun. The reason we don't see an eclipse every new moon is because it can actually be 5 degrees above or below the actual sun. So the conditions have to be right. And since those conditions can be favorable, it can kind of be in that sun's disk, you can see several partial eclipses over your lifetime. You can even see some total eclipses if you're willing to travel. But a lot of folks are kind of asking, like, how is this a once-in-a-lifetime thing? And we mentioned it earlier. It's because the moon is a lot closer to the Earth right now. That distance always changes. It's a lot closer to the Earth, so it's going to be blocking out almost the entire sun disk. You're going to see that. They call it a diamond ring, that corona.
I like it.
I know. And the colors in the sky are going to be fantastic. They're in that path of totality. Even here, I really think it's just going to be really cool. I feel like the last partial eclipse I saw was not long ago, 2012.
No, 2012, yeah, 2012.
But,
I should say 2012.
I'm really excited about this because 65%. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Which, we mentioned a little bit earlier talking about once in a lifetime, and people keep bringing it up because we did see it, and we're going to be seeing it hopefully again in 2024. So talk about, we keep saying once in a lifetime, we keep saying rare, but I mean, it is rare.
Yeah.
It is a very special moment that you don't want to miss.
Exactly. And every eclipse is different. That distance between the Earth and the sun can be different. That distance between the Earth and the moon is different. So that's all going to change how we actually view these eclipses. But this one, like I said, the moon is close to the Earth right now. We're kind of in a good time of year because this time of year we're facing the sun during the day and we're kind of tilted towards it. That's why our days are a little bit longer here in summer. But all these factors just kind of come together and make it a special event. And even still, 2024, our path of totality coming right through Texas, it's going to be almost twice as long as the maximum totality time for this eclipse. So they're all different. And astronomers can track these going back thousands of years. They can track them going forward. Maybe not thousands of years, barring anything catastrophic. But they can go a long time out. I was reading a lot online from Science Institute saying 2024 is going to be a big one. There's likely going to be another one, 2132. They can go out very far. So we're getting excited about this one, though.
Yes, but the thing with this one is, like we talked about a little bit earlier, is this was 99 years ago that it went from coast to coast. Mm-hmm. So that's why when we say once in a lifetime, that's what we mean. And the chances of us seeing it again, 2024, we could see it again, but there may be a chance that we're covered by clouds.
Yeah.
But the coast to coast thing is the thing that makes it the once in a lifetime thing. I know a lot of people, 1979, I think it was January or February of 1979 was when the last one was, and a lot of people bringing up news clips of it. And it clipped the corner. It clipped the corner of the United States. And like you said, the conditions were terrible, so not a lot of people saw it. I did watch some old news coverage, and people were like, you can't see it. You still can't see it.
It's up there, but we can't see it.
Yes.
And plus, I saw a thing that said this is probably going to be one of the most viewed eclipses because the United States highway system is more expansive than it was in the 70s. Plus, you've got social media, you've got all these other elements, and there's just a big buzz around it. So, that one makes it special, too. And I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, a lot of people going to a lot of different places to see this. Rayanne's going to Nashville, obviously to be able to see the, total eclipse. But also, I had heard there was one flight that's going to be tracking, right?
I think a Southwest
cool.
flight will be taking off in Oregon tomorrow morning, and they're just going to fly in the path of the eclipse.
That's amazing.
Also, Royal Caribbean Cruise, they'll get to see, I think, the eclipse kind of coming to an end. They'll be one of the last ones to see that path of totality. And the singer who did Total Eclipse of the Heart is on that cruise.
Bonnie Tyler.
Yes,
and she's on the cruise.
She's on the cruise, and she's going to be singing that song
that is
live.
So cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I don't know if she'll be in Texas to sing that in 2024.
I hope she is.
I hope. Bonnie Tyler, 2024,
Yes.
you, me, Southwest Texas. let's make that happen.
So I found some more of the events that are going to be happening around town. So I'm going to list them off. I got an email in regards to it. Great American Solar Eclipse Star Party, that's Bastrop State Park. And Round Rock Solar Eclipse Viewing Party, that's going to be on Main Street Plaza. And then you have UT Solar Eclipse Viewing Party, that is going to be around campus. They have several different locations, but it'll be on their website. The Austin Public Library Housen Branch, they will be having a viewing party, and that is off Exposition Boulevard. Pflugerville Public Library, and let's see, Buda Library, Taylor Public Library, Wells Branch Community Library. So a lot of the libraries, again, like I mentioned, the Texas Museum of Science and Technology, they'll be having one where they will be passing out glasses. So a few different options that you have in regards to going and being out there with a lot of people and experiencing this together, because like we're saying, it's a rare moment and beautiful to take in as a community. Now, what is neat is that we actually know a lot of schools that are going to be participating and getting their students involved. For Eanes ISD, Westlake High School, they actually are having a viewing party out at their football stadium.
Oh,
so all the older students will be going out there. Again, the time, starting at 11:41. That peak time at 1:10 and ending around 2:39. So they'll be out there for a little bit with, they said, band, cheerleaders, everybody involved. And so they're going to be having a good time. But also, for the entire Eanes ISD, they're going to be doing something during the day for, their classes. So they were talking about, for instance, social studies. Let's, talk about the solar eclipse in a cultural context.
Yeah.
And then physics, how the light bends around the moon. So they want to bring this into each lesson plan, which is amazing. Getting all the students involved, from the little ones to the older students. And I know the younger ones are going to be kept inside just in case, because you never know.
Yeah, sure.
But they're going to have glasses for some of the older students.
Yeah.
So that'll be a fun time over there. And I know we also did a story about pre-K. I know starting even there, starting young.
Yeah, they do the little boxes.
Yeah, they were making the little boxes
Some
too.
people are actually starting school tomorrow, from what I'm seeing on
Right.
their Facebook feed. So they should have. I think that they sent out letters to let parents know, and I think if they're not, then they're not letting kids outside altogether.
Right,
So,
AISD I saw canceled classes.
Canceled altogether.
And then Eanes ISD is the one I was telling you, they're having the viewing party because their first day of school is tomorrow.
Okay, that makes sense.
Exciting for them.
Yeah. And some folks I'm seeing on the Facebook feed asking what they can do if you don't have the eclipse glasses. Pinhole projectors are going to be the way to go. It's very simple. You can take a kind of a sheet of cardstock or maybe cardboard, something like that, punch a hole in it, and you'll be able to face away from the sun. You don't want to face the sun and look at it if you don't have those eclipse glasses, but you'll face away from the sun, make it to where the sun is shining through that pinhole, maybe projecting on the sidewalk or a nice clear surface, not grass or anything like that. That'll be a little harder to see, and you'll actually be able to see the image of the eclipse there projected onto the ground. So that's what you want to do if you don't have those glasses. And also, I've seen so many tutorials about how to make your own cereal box viewers.
Box.
Those are, whoa, almost fell off my chair.
I've got you.
Thank you. So a lot of folks running into this problem because you cannot find eclipse glasses anywhere. I have tried. So pinhole projectors, the way to go. You can Google it, look for tututorials.
Right on
Make it an arts and crafts thing. Like, if you've got kids, get them involved. They can decorate their boxes.
So Melody is asking, can you see the eclipse while using a camera with an adjustable screen? You have to have a very specific camera to view it. Otherwise, it will actually break your camera or cause some damage to it, and also still damage your eye. So NASA put out, some warnings, and they were saying, don't use binoculars, don't use a camera that's unfiltered. So you have to keep in mind that just your average, something so simple as a camera or sunglasses, it's not going to work when it comes to, watching the eclipse. So you have to be very careful.
Yes, Janet Elias said welding glasses. Yes, that's true. They just have to be
12.
number 12 or above.
Yes.
So anything
have
less
those
than 12 is
handy.
not going to work. Yeah, if you've got some welding glasses.
A lot of kids are in welding classes. So
Yeah, that's true. Shop class, that may be a cool spin they have on it. Also, NASA's website, they are going to be looking at this eclipse through such a scientific lens. They're going to be seeing its effects on the ionosphere, which is where the aurora borealis originates. They're going to be looking at how weather adjusts. Biologists will be keeping an eye on how plants and animals react to the eclipse. So this is kind of a cool time because we've made some pretty good advances in science over the last several years, and with that total eclipse sweeping across the country, they'll have a lot of citizen scientists keeping an eye on it, so many people in the path of totality, and they'll have a lot of cool instruments that they can use to measure it. Personally, I have my own little thermometer that I will be checking as the eclipse starts. I'll be checking when it peaks and when it ends. I don't think we're going to have huge impacts here in Central Texas as far as temperature-wise, but it's happening during a time of day when we are seeing temperatures rise the fastest. So if we see any effects as far as the weather goes, could be just that it slows down that rate of heating just a little bit. So that may affect our afternoon highs. And I do want to show you, can we take the weather computer, Director Chad? Thank you. So this is what we'll see tomorrow across the country. Of course, that eclipse starts around 11:30 in the morning for us here. It slides across from Oregon down to South Carolina. Those green circles you see there in Texas, that means we are going to have good viewing conditions. And even for some folks who may be in that 100% totality path like Lincoln, Nebraska, they are not going to have good viewing conditions. There's going to be a lot of clouds likely extending from Colorado into the Plain States, even Chicago not looking great there. Missouri, some spots looking at some cloudy skies. So we might not see a total eclipse here, but we are still going to be in for a pretty cool treat. Here's a look at that cloud cover forecast. As things get kicked off, we may see 23 to 30% cloud coverage here in Texas. High pressure is still going to be kind of lending itself, though, to those mostly clear skies. And then as things wind down, we'll see mostly clear skies through the afternoon. Here's a look at that solar eclipse here. Tomorrow, our conditions, good visibility at 11:41 when it starts, 1:10, that's when it peaks. 65% of the sun will be eclipsed, so great viewing for that time period. And then as things start to wind down right around 2:40, looking at mostly clear skies all the way through. So we are in a pretty good spot here in Texas. I know lots of folks will be out looking at it. I will be one of them. Possibly with a pinhole projector since I couldn't find glasses.
I know I don't have glasses either.
I don't have a welding helmet.
I know our news director got some extra eclipse glasses.
Yes.
For some of the crews that are going to be going out and covering the eclipse. So that will be my first story pitch tomorrow.
Yes, exactly.
We even us for our really neat cameras that we shoot news stories with. We had to look into getting special filters for those so we don't destroy our good cameras. So, it's not just us, or it's not just folks with smartphones having to deal with that issue where you probably shouldn't point it at the sun, but really every camera is going to need some sort of adaptation to view it safely.
I saved mine from 2012.
Look at you.
Oh, really?
I did. I saved mine from 2012. That was just a partial one, so I'm excited to look through. I was worried because I was like, wait, does it work for like the total one? But obviously
you're
I know
in good shape.
I'm in good shape. I have 2 of them. I'm set to go.
See?
So NASA, they do break down, how to make a safe pinhole camera. So if you want to just, figure out what materials you need, which is 2 pieces of white cardstock, aluminum foil, tape, and then a pen or a paper clip. They, instruct how to put it together. Number 1, cut a square hole. So you're going to cut a square hole into the middle of one of your pieces of cardstock, then tape a piece of aluminum foil over the hole, and then use your pen or paper clip to poke a small hole in the aluminum foil. And then they say try it out. Place your second piece of cardstock on the ground and hold the piece with aluminum foil above it. Foil facing up, stand with the sun behind you, and view the projected image on the cardstock below. The farther away you hold your camera, the bigger your projected image will be. So
pretty cool stuff.
I know. So there is, if you don't have your glasses, don't lose hope. You're still going to be treated to kind of a cool show. You're just facing away from the sun, which is always safe.
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't look at the sun. We only have a partial eclipse here in Austin. 35% of the sun can still totally damage your eyes.
And, you know, like I mentioned, I did a story earlier in the week, and we'll also have the eye doctor here live with us tonight for the show at 9 o'clock. But I spoke with her earlier in the week, and she was telling me that she has, you know, people that have come in just from looking at the sun, maybe a younger kid who just kind of wants to stare, and 20 seconds even will do tremendous damage to your eyes, something that cannot be reversed. So people coming in saying they have some symptoms of seeing, you know, stars or blurriness, and that doesn't go away. It just continues to worsen, and so then they develop maybe a black spot that won't go away, and of course you can't correct it.
It's
So.
Our eyes can do some awesome things, but they cannot stare at the sun.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. Also, I talked about these earlier, but I have my little factoids. Tomorrow, Carbondale, Illinois, will see the maximum time of totality. They've got 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Nashville's still looking good, too, more than 2 minutes, so good call. Good call. Nashville is the biggest city in the path of totality, 609,000 people, so all of them will be looking up to check out what's going on. Tomorrow, everyone in the continental U.S. will see some type of partial eclipse, weather permitting, including us here in Texas. 65% of the sun will be eclipsed right around 1:10. The last eclipse was 38 years ago, so lots of folks saying, you know, this isn't a big deal. I've seen a few of these in my lifetime. It all depends on where that eclipse passes. So last time it clipped the Northwest, Pacific Northwest. 5 states saw the eclipse, but the weather was terrible. So a lot of folks didn't see it. Also, those partial eclipses can happen several times in a span of just a few years. Here are the details on our eclipse close to home tomorrow. 11:41 it starts, 1:10 it peaks, 2:39 it ends. That's mainly right around the I-35 corridor, so could be a few minutes difference on either side depending on where you are specifically. I highly encourage you to go to an Eclipse 2017 website that NASA's running. They have so much great information depending on where you are. And of course, we're already looking ahead. 2024, that is going to be the next total eclipse, not covering as wide a path across the country. This one tomorrow, 12 states. The one in 7 years, fewer than that. I'm not sure the exact number, but it will pass through Texas, even Austin in that path of totality. I mentioned earlier, Carbondale, Illinois, 2 minutes, 40 seconds tomorrow. That 2024 eclipse, parts of southwest Texas, 4 minutes, 27 seconds.
So cool. But
yeah.
hopefully there will not be cloud cover.
Hopefully. April, that's kind of our severe weather time, so it's going to kind of be a gamble. Don't just assume you're going to see
definitely get out tomorrow safely.
Yes.
To see
If you can't, or you're worried because you don't have the glasses and you don't have time to make a pinhole camera, or you're at work, anything like that, NASA will be providing a front row seat because they're live streaming everything, and it's really neat because they have a whole range of different ways they're providing images, which is from a telescope. What else? They're
You
talking
can count
about,
on NASA to have the cool stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were talking about some high altitude balloons, satellites, research aircraft. So they're going to be
they even
following.
say the International Space Station, the
That's
astronauts
neat.
may be able to see that.
It's pretty neat, but they're
That's
going to be
gonna be
looking at all the vantage points and then following from the beginning to end. And they said they're going to have a pre-show that's going to start around noon Eastern time, and then the main show begins at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, and also here on Good Day Austin, our noon show, we'll have some time for that live feed of the eclipse actually happening, and that will be from the path of totality. So, you know, if you're at home tomorrow around lunchtime, check us out because we will have it on air. Fun fact.
Yes, that'll be nice.
I know. I think we can wrap up now.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so. We hit all the high points. Eclipse peaks tomorrow for us, 1:10. You're going to Nashville.
I'm going to Nashville.
Safe travels. Have a great time. If you do have your glasses, make sure they are ISO certified. Super important for tomorrow. And we'll have our eye doctor coming on later on. So tune in for that because we are going to
make sure to tune in tonight, 9 o'clock. We didn't have an early show, but we'll be on later, and Rayanne's going to talk more about what you can expect with the solar eclipse. And then after that, we have the eye doctor in here. So if you have any questions or want us to answer anything else, we'll be checking social media, so definitely write us. Thank you so much. We'll see you tonight at 9.